So we have two new Kizers here. We'll check out the other one here in 1 second, about 60 seconds. This is the Kizer Justice 2. If you don't know, there's the Kizer Justice folding knife, which is a pretty beefy work knife. Not that it's like super thick geometry or anything, but it's a big knife. And it's pretty awesome. It has a glass breaker and things like that. And if you notice, this one does too. You have a glass breaker here. Micarta scales. It has the same pattern that's on the folder. And we have a beautiful drop point blade. Pretty decent geometry. I mean, it's a little bit on the robust side, but no problems at all. I mean, it'll slice really good. And, you know, I feel like I could do some pretty good camping work with this. The Kydex sheet, you can see you loosen that and you can turn it, you know, to carry it different angles. And I gotta say, man, listen to this. What a great Kydex sheath. I mean, no rattle, no tap, nice, strong, very solid snap. So I really appreciate that. It's very ergonomic. You know, you can tell that you could really put some work on this thing. You know, even with batoning and things like that, maybe we'll have to take it out in the field and really give this thing a go, because it's just screaming for a beating in my opinion. Maybe we'll test out that glass breaker too. Next one is the new Kizer Klipper. So I really like this blade shape. It's a sheep's foot. It kind of sweeps up just a little bit, so the tip is aligned in a really good place. You're not losing any leverage. But then you have this swedge going down to the tip, helping bring down some strength. Utilitarian tasks are going to be effortless. Then you have micarta scales. Kizer always does a good job with their micarta. I'm always happy with their quality of their micarta. It is a reversible deep carry clip, somewhat of a spoon clip. It's gonna hang on really good, be nice and smooth in and out of the pocket. Fantastic access to the lock bar. And it is a front flipper, but I personally can easily reverse flick it. Basically, the blade sticks out just enough, and when you're down here, you don't need that much leverage to snap a knife out, as long as some of the blade is popping out. So it's pretty easy to snap out. But the front flipper is exactly the way you want a front flipper to be. It is very well jimped all the way around, and it's that sharp jimping. Some might even say it's a little bit too sharp. I wouldn't. I like it being, you know, on the sharper side. Now, I'm not trying to bring up negatives this early, but I kind of wish there was a little chamfer right here on this edge, just for when I go this way. When I do that, it would be cool. I can still do it, so it's not like it's a big deal, but it would be really cool if it was. But the thumb flick, the reach over, all that is effortless. Very, very good because of the jimping. Because this jimping actually catches you, like it's super catchy. It's crazy how some companies just can't get that down, and they put slick jimping on there, and it's like you have to almost like apply so much pressure just to pop it. With this, you just put your finger there and snap that sucker, and it's coming out. The ergonomics, very neutral. So, I like these type of ergos because it makes it to where I can use it in any grip I want, and it's very maneuverable. It's very easy to basically operate, you know. As far as the 154 CM goes, Kizer does a great job with it. 154 CM is an upper mid-grade tier steel, so it's gonna hold a good edge, plenty stain resistance, plenty of toughness. You know, it's a good, solid, good to go steel, and as long as the companies are doing it well, as Kizer is, I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it. So, you know, it's gonna be edge retention in between like 14C and S35VN. That's basically where it lies. It's right underneath S35VN. So, you know, great steel. Like I said, as long as it's done well, you know, it's going to be a great steel. As far as sharpening goes, I personally like it between 600 and 1200 grit. You know, it just, in my opinion, doesn't do very well with a mirror polished edge or anything like that, but a medium grit edge, 154 CM does really, really well. If I was gonna have any negatives, the plunge grind is very close to the edge. You're gonna get one sharpening out of that, but you're gonna hit the plunge grind eventually. That'd be my one biggest complaint. The next thing would just be T6s. I wish it was T8s across the board. As far as the fixed blade goes, the one small thing I could say is it's D2 steel. You know, D2 steel on a fixed blade, is it that big of a deal? No, it'll hold a good edge. It's not the toughest steel or anything like that. But, you know, considering the geometry and everything, I think this thing will do just fine. So I'm really, you know, the only complaints I could probably have is hopefully they did a good heat treat on it. But this stain resistance, you know, is going to suffer because D2 is not a stainless. But as far as like bad, there's really no bad. You know, the price is going to be kept low because it's D2. But I think 154 CM, 14C, 28N, Nitro V, something like that would have been a little bit more suitable for something like this, especially 14C and Nitro V, because they're such tough steels, you know. You know, they did a good job on the sharpening tool and plunge grind. You know, good job with everything else. But as far as this one goes, you know, it is just a little nitpick. And like I said, you know, I wouldn't mind this being chamfered right here, almost like knock this corner down just a little bit on both sides. That would be pretty cool. Not that it's a big deal or anything. It's not that big of, it's not like a negative. It's just more of, I would prefer that. But all in all, super solid knives. Once again, Kizer always killing it, always knocking them out of the park. And I do have some Kizers that I've recently, that have recently came out. Like, they're not like old Kizers, they're newer Kizers that I need to get back on the channel because they dropped some awesome knives, and I have not had them on the channel again. So stay tuned moving forward. We are going to have some really cool Kizer videos coming up because they have some bangers that deserve some more airtime. Work hard, stay tough. You know society's relying on you. Until next time, peace.